Good morning, my children, and welcome to your English class. Okay, my children, this couple of days, okay, have been very difficult, okay, in terms of long sentences, okay. So today we're going to have a little bit of relax. The activities of today are more easy, okay. Now, last class, remember, we saw prepositions of place. Now, before we start with the new topic, it's very important to remember and to review the previous topic so you don't never forget it, okay? The previous topic, like I mentioned it, was prepositions of place. First of all, the first question, what is prepositions of place? We use it for what? ¿Para qué lo íbamos a utilizar? Remember, prepositions of place, we use it to know the location of an object. Para saber la ubicación de un objeto, we use prepositions of place. How many are they? ¿Cuántas son? They are 4, okay? Which ones were they? On, when the object is here. Under, when the object is right here. Next to, when the object is here. And in, when the object is inside the vase, okay? The most common example is our heart, okay? Our heart is here inside our body. It's not next to, it's not on, it's not under, it's in, okay? It's an internal organ, so that's why it's inside of us, okay? It's very important that you don't forget those words because they are going to be very helpful in the future if you want to continue with your English classes, okay? Today, my children, let's commence with the new topic, okay? And in this case, it's also very, very important. So for this, I need you to pay attention. I need you to concentrate, and let's start. The topic of today is called the verb to be, okay? Now, this is a verb. And what is a verb, teacher? A verb is an action, okay? Un verbo va a ser una acción. For example, flying. The birds, do you know the birds? It's an animal, okay? And animals do this action. Las aves hacen esta acción. What is the action that they do? They fly. Okay, another action, let's think about it. Okay, when a person gets into a car, cuando una persona sube a un coche and it starts to drive. Drive, it's another action, it's a verb, okay? Manejar es una acción, también es un verbo. So a verb is all of the actions that you do, like eating, like running, like jumping, like doing exercise, like learning, like writing, like reading. All of those are actions. And an action, it's a verb. Una acción es un verbo, okay? It has the same meaning, significa lo mismo. For today, we're going to concentrate on the verb to be. The verb to be means in Spanish ser o estar, okay? For example, here I am teacher Jacob. I am a teacher. Yo soy. Yo soy as part of the verb to be, okay? Now, another part that is very important are the pronouns. And what is a pronoun, teacher? A pronoun is a word we use instead of saying a full name, en lugar de decir un nombre completo, el nombre completo de la persona, we use a pronoun. Utilizamos un pronombre, okay? A pronoun is also very important and it's part of the verb to be. And how many pronouns are they? ¿Cuántos pronombres son? Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There are 7 pronouns. And once again, one more time. What is a pronoun? ¿Qué es un pronombre? A pronoun, it's a word we use, es una palabra que utilizamos para no decir un nombre completo. Instead of saying Francisco, en lugar de decir Francisco, podemos decir you o podemos decir he, dependiendo del pronombre, ¿ok? Porque cada pronombre es para una persona en específico. So let's start first of all with the pronouns. So we have 7 pronouns. The first pronoun is I. Please repeat after me. I, okay? And I is for oneself. I es para uno mismo. And in Spanish is yo, okay? I. Instead of saying Teacher Jacob, en lugar de decir Teacher Jacob, solamente voy a decir I. Instead of saying Sofía, voy a decir I. Instead of saying Francisco, I am going to say I, yo, okay? Very good. Let's continue with the second pronoun, okay? The second pronoun, it says you. And you is for two, for boy and for girl, okay? Instead of saying Sofia, I'm going to say you. Instead of saying Francisco, I'm going to say you, okay? In Spanish, you means two, okay? Not like the number, okay? It's very different. Now, let's continue with the third pronoun. The third pronoun is he, and for he is for only for boys. So instead of saying Francisco, I am going to say he. Instead of saying Luis, I'm going to say he, okay? Remember, he means él, and he is only for boys. Let's continue with the fifth. Then the fifth, it says she. Now, she is for girls, only for girls, because he, él is for boys. She, ella, only for girls. Instead of saying Sofia, I'm going to say she. Instead of saying Carla, I'm going to say she. Okay? She, ella, only for girls. Let's continue with this number 6. The sixth pronoun, it says it. Instead of saying it, okay, it is eso, okay? And now I am not referring about the clown, no me refiero al payaso, It is for two things, an object or an animal, okay? Object and animal is it, and it in Spanish means eso. For example, if we have a dog, instead of saying dog, I'm going to say it. If we have a cat, okay, no, I am not going to say cat, I'm going to say it, okay? If we have a book, it's an object, so we use it. If we have a desk, si hay un escritorio, en lugar de decir escritorio, we say it, eso. And we have to point the object, tenemos que señalar el objeto para que nos puedan entender, okay? So, it, eso. Let's continue with the seventh pronoun. The seventh pronoun is we. And we is for all of us, para todos nosotros, including the teacher, incluyendo al teacher, okay? And we means nosotros, okay? Nosotros también me estoy incluyendo. So we, todos, incluyendo the teacher. The number 8. The eighth pronoun is they. Now, they in Spanish means ellos, okay? All of you, todos ustedes, menos el teacher, menos la persona que está señalando. For example, instead of saying Sofía, Carlos, Roberto, Mario, Luis, instead of saying the names, all of the names, en lugar de decir todos estos nombres, que puede llevar mucho tiempo, únicamente vamos a decir they, ellos, ¿ok? Refiriéndonos a un grupo de personas en general. Ellos, ¿ok? They. Very good. Remember, they not the teacher. El teacher no está participando. When the teacher participates with a group, cuando el teacher participa en grupo is we, nosotros, okay? Very good. So, one of the first parts of the verb to be, una de las primeras partes del verbo to be is to learn, es recordar y aprender pronouns, los pronombres. Don't forget that a pronoun, un pronombre, es una palabra que ocupamos en lugar de decir un nombre completo. Okay? Very good. Now, after this, we have the most important part, which is the verb to be. Remember, acuérdense, la palabra to be, el verbo to be, quiere decir ser o estar. Y es una acción, okay? Don't forget that. Now, all of these pronouns, okay, they are part of the verb to be. For example, we are going to use the word teacher. If I say, si yo digo, I am a teacher, the word am, la palabra am, quiere decir soy. Acuérdense que el verbo to be es ser o estar. Ser una persona, ¿ok? Ser el trabajo que estamos ejerciendo, en este caso el teacher, yo soy un maestro, un profesor, ¿ok? So, I am a teacher. Si queremos utilizar you, que acuérdense que verá para boys and girls, you are teachers. Ustedes, you Carla, you Pepe, you are teachers. Ustedes son maestros. He, remember, he is for boy. He is a teacher. Él es un maestro. She, instead of saying Carol, ella, she is a teacher. Ella es una maestra. In the case of it, it's a little bit complicated because remember it, recuerden que it is for dog, para animales o para objetos. Y los objetos y animales no pueden ser maestros. Por eso nos vamos a saltar solamente por hoy ese pronombre. We are, remember, all of us, we are teachers. Nosotros somos maestros. Okay? And the last one, they, remember, they, not the teacher. Ellos, they are teachers. Ellos son maestros. Okay? So, the verb to be means ser una profesión o describirnos físicamente. For example, I am big, okay? He is big. They are big. We are big, okay? Very good. So, very good, my students. So don't forget that the verb to be is divided into the pronouns, los pronombres, and the verb to be. Y el verbo to be, que quería decir ser o estar. So, we're going to continue working with this in the future, but it's very important that you start practicing and work with them, okay? Very good. And the last part of the video is about means of communication. También vamos a estar hablando sobre los medios de comunicación. A mean of communication is an object, a physical object that we use to learn about the news, to listen to music, or to watch programs, okay? Un medio de comunicación nos va a ayudar para enterarnos de las noticias, what is happening in the world, qué está pasando en el mundo, to watch programs, para mirar o ver programas en la television, or to listen to music, o para escuchar música, okay? Those are means of communication. Now, here we have 4 different means of communication. The first one is called a television. So this is part of the activities of your book, and I am going to give you an example of how to do it. The first one, it says television. So we have to draw a television. Most televisions of nowadays, las televisiones de ahorita, de estos tiempos, have a rectangular form. So we have a rectangle and our buttons. And there we have it, our television. The second one is a radio. So I'm going to give you an example and an idea of how to draw a radio. Remember, in a radio, we can listen to music. Here is the speaker, la bocina, and here is the frequencies, las frecuencias, okay, or the channels. Now, here we have the movies, and movies in Spanish means un cine, okay? So, here is the screen, and here are the seats, los asientos. Here are the seats. Okay, very good. We have the movies. And the last one is the newspaper. Newspaper, it's an object that has a vertical rectangle and contains a lot of letters. Okay, most of newspapers are black and white. Okay, and newspaper in Spanish means periódico. Okay, so before we go, my children, let's review the vocabulary of today. Television, radio, movies, and newspaper. Okay, very good, my children. So that will be all for today. Once again, a little bit heavy work, but don't worry, because in the future we're going to continue with the verb to be and means of communication, okay? In the meantime, don't forget that your teacher loves you very much. Take care and goodbye.